Hey everyone, it's Lucky Feet Viewer, and wow, it's been a while, huh? Over half a year. Now, I really have nothing else to say with use other than I just haven't really felt like doing videos, I guess? But I guess you're wondering what's this screen about. Because anyone who's watched my previous videos have noted that before the game release, I thought it was going to be a bomb. I thought it was going to be terrible, and I thought, it's just bleh. Well, it released. I didn't really look at it for like half a year until January. Then I got my finally curiosity caught the cat, and I looked at it, and I'm like, wow, this looks good. So good that I literally decided to go basically use my money I got from my birthday money to basically get a Switch and three houses. And I have to say this. I am sorry that I misjudged you, three houses. I thought you were going to be a terrible concept. I thought you were just going to be Revelation 2.0. I was wrong, and I am glad I am wrong. Mostly, now, for this video in particular, I'm just going to go over the general gameplay of the game, since that was one of my major complaints. The story is something I'll go in another video. Well, probably just do a bunch of videos going over the four routes. Since, or maybe I might even just include Cinder Shadows here, since, it's a thing. I don't really think I can do a 8-chapter mini story well, other than, it basically gave us more info about, the character and stuff. But I'll probably just do it in probably add in Silver Snow, which I still have to play because I've done all three main routes. Well, I guess you don't call Aegod's main route because it's kind of a secret one, but I did all three main routes. I have not done Silver Snow, and I gotta do it. And I'll probably have to go back and replay all of them one more time to get a solid feel on it. Anywho, so gameplay, character stuff. What's there? Well, honestly, there's a mixed bag of things. First off, you got your hub world, the monastery, which is just that's kind of pretty cool. You basically have this wide open space and talk to people and do stuff. There's like gifts, lost items, stuff, basically other ways to increase your bond outside of just, your typical have these units pair up to stay near each other and fight together and get bond. There's actually other ways to do it. I think that's pretty cool because, hey, maybe a unit just is terrible up in actual fighting. Even though you really don't have much of a excuse because archers get close counter pretty early on. Which I mean, if you don't remember that skill, that is I think it's a fate skill that they got that basically came widespread in Heroes. Basically, they decide let's just get rid of the issue with archers and not being able to shoot from they basically make it so they can become frontliners if you put in the effort. And yeah, like you get no fishing, which surprises me because like wait, fishing in Fire Emblem, this is a thing. What? Like it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I was like, wow, they've actually implemented fishing in a Fire Emblem game. Fishing is really good. The whole basically you basically have a monthly routine you go through. Each month you have quests to accept, quests to do, check on your flowers and your plants, fish, bunch of lost items per month that you can basically go and have to figure out who it belongs to and give it back to them. Luckily, the DLC kind of adds features that make this easier. Though the DLC actually adds a lot. Like, it includes an entire mini area called the Abyss. And there's not really much to do doing a first playthrough. Again, the game has New Game Plus, where you basically spend renown. That stuff from Awakening? That stuff that basically basically was a checklist of all like how far and what items you can get. Well, you can have to spend it. Basically, after you play a first time around, you can basically just get yourself back up to where you were, and also characters get back to where you were. And yeah, it's tournament. It's like there's a lot of stuff to do at a monastery, a lot. Like you spend a lot of time here, and it's actually kind of surprising. I think I guess they wanted to take the hub area from Fates and give you more to do, because you didn't really do much in the hub area for Fates, aside from getting your items, daily items for the day, for the mission, feeding Lilith, and that's kind of it. If I think about it, that's kind of it. There wasn't much to do outside, well, that and defend your castle, but beyond that, it was kind of bare bones. Like, there was a bunch of other stuff you can do, but it was all kind of optional. Here, it's like, there was a lot of stuff to do. And it's pretty cool. Just going with the new weapon slash class, we have brawlers and fist weapons. Gauntlets, yes. Basically, they are basically brave weapons, except they are not brave weapons. They're not actual brave weapons. Like brave weapons, but it's an entire class. That's kind of what they are, and they surprisingly work well. Like, I'd say I like them kind of better than I did daggers from Fates. Because daggers kind of like, well, they're good. Their entire purpose is to go with the debuffs, and well, let's not talk about that game and how it handled the debuffs. But yeah, like how they handled, like they made riding. They made like rather than just having weapon proficiency, they had flying proficiency, riding proficiency, armor proficiency, authority, which is basically a new thing where you have battalions that follow you. That thing I complained about, the thing I complain about. I take back my words. I like this system. It basically allows you to like the hot like I did not think it would actually be well implemented. It was. Heck, they don't really do much. It seems more or less cosmetic, but it does actually buff your units. Something I didn't learn till about 50 hours in an entire route done. I didn't realize that. I didn't know battalions actually boosted your unit's attack, your might and stuff. I thought it didn't, and I was kind of surprised when I found out. I was like, oh, they buff your characters. Wow, why did I not find out a bit sooner? Because I played through the entire Blue Lions route without this. I also played through the entire Blue Lions route without including any of the outside characters. So that's why I'm wanting to say I have to redo Blue Lions, because I missed out on some Parallax stuff. Definitely missed out on some Parallax stuff that I kinda want to go back and do. I guess I'll go over to again. I'll go over to main characters themselves later, but I just want to go over the story, the general gameplay and class stuff. Classes. The new system, how you basically have 4 base classes and then you go from there. I like it. I like how we basically have this pre-base class that basically, like, you basically start off as nobles or commons, which are basically just the same thing. And then from there you can go from Myrmidon? No, that's not Myrmidon. Not mercenary. Basically, a sword user, but lance user, axe grapple fighter, which is basically. Hold on, let me look it up. I am my brain is going moosh on this one. Fire Emblem 3 houses, classes. Hold on, I'll just look this up real quick. Okay, so it's Myrmidon, Soldier, Fighter, and Monk. Basically, that's the starting 4 class after that. And you actually, you have reason to go stay these classes even after you reach the next branch to promote. Because each class has skill masteries where... Okay, let me put it like this. Remember how in Fates, in Awakening, where you just level up as that class and eventually you get skills? Well, it's not like that. Each class has their own skills, but in order to unlock certain ones, you have to master them. So they don't stay when you change. You don't keep certain skills. That's the skills that are exclusive to being that class. But while it does have some good systems, there's also some terrible choices. Good example being deciding to leave Wyvern Wise to be a level 20 class. Rather than being like all the other regular classes you have, you can't really promote to Wyverns until you're level 20. Meaning the only flying you can have are Pegasus Knights. And you can't promote Pegasus Knights until level 30, when you unlock the Master Classes. Which, aside from a few of them, they are really hit and miss. Like, Mortal Savant is supposed to be the promote for Swordmaster, except they add magic to it. Paladins have no straight, Mortal Savant, you have that issue with Mortal Savant. You have the issue of Great Knights, where they're not really, you would think, they're supposed to, what are they? Are they supposed to be the promotes for Cavaliers? Are they supposed to be the promote for Knights? And I guess from what I can tell, there's supposed to be more promotes for Knights rather than Paladins. So Paladins really don't have a masterclass to promote into. Unless you really want to just grind out and get heavy armor A and XB. It's definitely a weird one. I only really tried Holy Knight one time with Marianne doing the... I only tried it twice, and I haven't really gotten much experience with it. Because again, it's really late game. Another thing to talk about, I guess. Again, it's the master classes are hit and miss. Some are good, some are terrible. And I feel like that's kind of an issue when it's supposed to be the final promotes. But, moving on to another issue with the game, the movements. For you see, while some classes, they get better movement, other classes aren't as fortunate. A good example is the Armor Knight and the Fortress Knight. Now, you know how in Awakening, and I guess Faith as well, they start off with 4, which is the slowest amongst the base classes, and then when they promote, they get another speed? Yeah? Well, not in 3 houses. Fortress Knights go the same speed as Armor Knights. And they're supposed to be the tanks. Another issue with this is how I think Warlocks don't really get an increase in speed. Warlocks and Bishops. Magic users are kind of basically stuck at 4 speed. I'll have to let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it is. 3. It doesn't really say much for them for 3 houses. I think I think they do. They're all stuck at 6 feet though. It's just the only one that I found is 5 feet 12. Hold on. Yeah, I can't find them, but I'm pretty sure if my memory's right, they have like 4 speed, no matter what. So it's like you have this game where a lot of maps are movement based, so there's a lot of moving around to do. But characters can only go certain characters and some characters can go really fast, while others are like slow to a crawl. So I guess that's why all the magic user classes for master classes are promotes or mountain units. Because that's another thing. I think aside from Mortal Savant, War Masters, which is basically Axe and Brawl, which is basically combining warriors with grapplers, and then Grimori, which is basically a combination of warlock and bishop. The rest of the classes are literal mountain units. That's all the master classes are. So it's just weird how they handle classes. As for the DLC classes that we got, Trickster, it's pretty good. Like I only usually use the those classes for the DLC characters, which we'll get into another time. But again, it's overall gameplay wise, I guess I'm trying to get at is that the classes are kind of hit or miss sometimes, but overall I've never really had an issue. Then again, I don't play anything harder than casual because I do not want to basically torture myself because I know harder difficulties are going to be frustrating, and I just like nope, nope, nope. If I wanted to play something hard, if I wanted to torture frustrate myself, then I would just play an actual hard game. But I guess aside from that, I mean, you also have the weapons, which the relics, which certain ones are going to be like, while certain ones are kind of you'll always have so long as you have the characters. Others are kind of route exclusive. So there is that. Oh, and the fact that you can how they handle repairing weapons. I understand where it's coming from, but I kind of also hate it because it kind of because certain ones like say iron stuff you need to just buy a new one anyways because it's kind of easy to get money in this game once you reach like later on in the game. It kind of becomes real easy how to accumulate money. But the relic weapons, you kind of have to be sparing with them since Umbral Steel is something you can only get from demonic beasts. So you can't really be using all of them. And of course, yet I made that mistake more so in my Crimson Flower browse with Elagop's weapon because I thought it did use Umbral Steel. And then I found out I was wrong, and I basically could not use it again, and I was sad because it's kind of a really neat freaking relic, but it's just you just you can't really use it. The material it needs is hard to find, and I did not know. I did not think I would need to go get it until I lost it. So That was something I ended up having to do in the Verdict Win, because that was the order: Blue Lions, Crimson Flower, Verdict Win, and then Silver Snow's gonna be last. So yeah. Again, that's pretty much it. Again, I really don't know how much to say other than I I didn't think it was going to be good. Then I saw it. Then I got it. Then I played it. Then I realized it was good, and I was really wrong for judging a book by its cover. Though in my defense, we kind of had a lot to say to suggest this was going to be a bad one, because when you announce a game in production and then you literally spend an entire year not saying anything about it, that kind of puts. Well, then again, Bethesda just did that with Elder Scrolls 6. They said, "Here's Elder Scrolls 6. It's in production. We don't know when we're gonna have more news for you, because that's literally something that happened. That was something that actually happened. It's like, oh, I guess it's just a thing then." Hmm. But yeah, it's. I mean, first Fire Emblem game on a console in over a year, in over a decade. Pretty good. Again, I'm gonna go into the individual routes later and the characters within them, but I just want to go do an overall feel of the game. But and yeah, and again, I have some other videos I want to do, so this might be a return for me. This might not. Who knows? But it'll just depend on how I feel. But yeah, that's it for this episode, this video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later. Peace.